Hello, James here, and we're here to talk about the size of the IONIQ 5 and the perception from people seeing it online. It just looks like a 80s hot hatch, so you'd expect it to be that sort of hot hatch mid size vehicle, but it is a little bit bigger than what you think. So I'm going to park it next to a few vehicles today, and hopefully that'll give you an idea of what it's going to be like size-wise and if it'll fit for you and your needs. But before we get on our way, if you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe and smack that notification bell for updates of any new videos that I make. So a lot of people have said that the IONIQ 5 looks like the Lancia Delta, and I tend to agree with them. So I thought it was fitting to put it against the Celica GT4 ST205, and it basically just looks like an overblown sized vehicle compared to the Celica. It's way bigger in every dimension, especially on the height. The Celica sits very low down, and it just basically, the IONIQ 5 just basically makes the Celica GT4 looks like a little toy car from most angles. From the top down view, the IONIQ 5 is wider, and you can tell, but the overall length is fairly similar, but because of the large front bonnet of the Celica GT4, that means it's definitely got less cabin space overall. So next up we have the Gen 2 Nissan Leaf, and again the IONIQ 5 is winning in all dimensions. The Nissan is just a little bit shorter than the IONIQ 5, but from this front view here you can tell that it's definitely wider as we pan across. And once again, from the aerial view we can see that the width of the IONIQ 5 is way more than the Nissan Leaf. This next one actually surprised me, and length and width wise it's actually much wider and much longer than the ENV200. The ENV200 obviously has the height advantage here, so that obviously will give it a lot more headroom inside. And then from the aerial view, lengthwise it's pretty similar really, but you can still tell that the IONIQ 5 is a wider vehicle. Next we have the Tesla Model 3, and the IONIQ is wider and taller than the Tesla Model 3. The Model 3 has a longer body, and from this top down view pretty evenly matched between the two. The IONIQ 5 does have more room inside than the Tesla Model 3 due to the hatchback design. So next up we have the Škoda Enyaq IV, and even though the length and height is bigger on the Škoda, but if you look at the numbers here, it's fairly similar. There's only a few millimeters between the both of them in all dimensions. So you could actually class the IONIQ 5 as a family SUV more than a hatchback. So again, if you look at the front, I mean, there's practically no difference between both the cars. As we head towards the aerial view, there's not that much difference between both these cars. The 45-degree slope of the tailgate on the IONIQ 5 will make the boot space of the Škoda Enyaq that much bigger. For anyone that doesn't know much about classic cars or EVs, we're going to put the car against the Hyundai Kona electric, which has its hybrid and petrol variants. And as you can see here, all the dimensions are way smaller than the IONIQ 5. So this is the sort of small hatch that most people would associate the IONIQ 5 to if they see it in brochures and pictures, especially when there's nothing to put next to for scale. And from the aerial view, the 3000mm wheelbase of the IONIQ 5 shows how much more cabin space that you'd get inside the vehicle compared to a small hatchback Kona here. So hopefully this video has given you an insight on the size of the IONIQ 5 compared to other vehicles on the road. And if you have any other questions, please put them down in the comments below, and I'll try and answer them when I get online.